hopefully all is well. Let me just do a little quick check. Make sure all is okay. Oh, that. There we go. Let me turn down the music a little bit. Alright, and there we go. Hopefully all is well. Let me just do a little quick check. Make sure all is okay. Oh. Alright, hopefully that's a little bit better. Sorry about blasting your ears off. Hello, Cryptic. Welcome, welcome. And generally speaking, hello to everybody who might have just clicked the link. Welcome to Night Rights. If you're new here, aka you've just clicked the link and haven't read the description that I've included. Quick note, just a little housekeeping rule for those of you already in chat, but I have not. So basically, I got a new computer in the time since you've last seen me, which means I don't have the normal settings. So if anything's weird, let me know. Like if my voice is too loud, if the music's too loud, what have you. Positive side is, hopefully, fingers crossed, it's better quality. Negative side is I might be blowing off some eardrums, and I apologize for that. But in any case, hello and welcome. Welcome to Night Rights. If this is your first time, I'm Jax. Jax Wolf specifically. I am a fantasy author-ish. I haven't published anything yet, but we're getting there. And this is my writing stream, quote-unquote it's really more like just a little thing I do now and then to keep myself accountable and to hang out with other writers. If this is your first time here, welcome, welcome. I keep on saying that. You will get used to that a lot. I repeat myself a lot. But basically how these work is there's an open chat room. If you don't see it, you should probably click the little link in Blue Sky to get there, because that is half the fun of these. You are free to say whatever you like in that chat room. So long as it's within reason. Please do not violate the YouTube TOS, because that will make me very sad. Otherwise, you know, just chill out, hang out, do whatever you like. Starting from 9 o'clock, usually we wait a little bit to let people filter in and just settle in, break the ice, get all their stuff together. We start the first of 3 writing sprints, and I say writing heavily because you can really do whatever you want during these. I've had people sit in here and just play video games the entire time, and they're like, yeah, I definitely made progress on my video game, let me tell you about it. But those writing sprints will be 25 minutes. I do believe that they used to be 20 minutes, but, you know, we're going to fuck things up and be awesome. So they're 25 minutes apiece. So you do whatever you want for 25 minutes, and at the end of the 25 minutes, we regroup and we tell each other what progress we've made. For writers, that's pretty easy. That's your word count. For editors, that is however you want to figure out or measure your productivity. For me, it's just like how many pages I read or how many words I've actually written or read through, and there you go. But do whatever you feel like. If it's anything else, just say how much progress you made on your thing, and that's cool. And then after that, we just shoot the shit for a little bit until usually a nice round number comes up, and then we start the next sprint. And we do that 3 times in total over the course of a night, so that's why these sprints can be anywhere from maybe an hour and a half to 3 hours plus. So we're in for the long haul. It's going to be a productive night. The other thing is, until 9 o'clock, like I said, we just shoot the shit. We hang out. We catch up with each other. We do whatever. Sometimes we just kind of vibe and chill if I'm not kind of feeling like talking. Incidentally, I do read everything that you say in the chat out loud, unless you specify that it's not supposed to be read out loud in the chat. And that's how I respond to it. So, for example, Cryptic has come in, and Cryptic says, hello. Cryptic also says, number 1, here, there we go. And I have read off things that happened in the chat, and then I respond to them. And that's how you talk to me. I like to be interactive with these chats, so say whatever you like, again, without violating YouTube TOS. If it's racist, I will be like, I'm going to be very sad and have to do my very first ban. There's also, if you look on the sidebar, a little question called the icebreaker. That is, I know that a lot of people are very shy. We're all writers, we're all introverts, basically. We're kind of notorious for that kind of thing. So, to help you get into the mood for chatting, we have a little icebreaker, which is a question that's usually about your writing, just to kind of like encourage you to speak up. Cryptic says, the number one is apparently a part of my name now, LOL. That is hilarious. You are number one in my heart, Cryptic. So that is very well deserved. Which also segues kind of nicely into tonight's icebreaker, which is, how has your progress been since we last spoke? Progress, I know that you tend to come in here without writing, and I mean that in the gentlest way possible, because not everybody is writer, and I fully support and respect anybody who's like, yeah, I'm not a writer. So if you've made progress with video games or whatnot, that would be awesome. You feel free to talk about that. Cryptic also says, YouTube assigned it to me. YouTube assigned it to me and gives me XP for each message now. That is awesome. Actually, this time I do have writing stuff, LOL. Ooh, tell me about it. Is it a new project? Have you gone back to one of your old ones? Are we seeing a re-emergence of William? Is it anything? Ooh, there's a top fans vote. Oh, you were dead serious about XP. That is fucking hilarious. It says top fans and XP. What's the leaderboard? A place for fans to stand out in the community. The top 3 get special badges in live chat. It resets every stream so you can always try again. How do you get on the leaderboard? You'll need to collect experience points or XP. Here's how you get them. Send live chat messages, send super chats and super stickers. Learn more or turn off in the help center. Oh, that's a new feature. I'm going to leave it enabled for chaos, but that's amazing. Yeah, you are my number one fan at the moment, and you do get XP for just writing in chat. Cryptic says, so technically it's not for specific work in progress, although William will likely be returning soon once I get back into the flow. Oh, that's totally cool. I mean, that's also really valid, because like if you're getting back into it, you kind of need to write whatever and see what happens. So is it like you're writing short stories, or are you writing drabbles, or are you just sort of exercising, that kind of thing? Tonight's writing was practicing Eldritch horror descriptions, and I'm pretty pleased with how it came out. Holy shiz, that is awesome. I do like me some Eldritch horror descriptions. So, are you sharing them on Blue Sky? Because I need to actually check Blue Sky. I've been kind of busy-ish all day. Definitely not. I mean, it was because of work. I was definitely working all day. It is definitely not patch day in Final Fantasy. I have definitely not been spending at least a solid 4 hours trying to get through MSQ stuff. No. Anyway, Cryptic Codex. See about your Blue Sky count. Cryptic says, I haven't shared it yet, but I was playing on it. Yes, please do. Also, oh snap, you have a Twitch account. Or, wait a minute, I knew you had a Twitch account. What am I talking about? But I'm looking at your Blue Sky account at the moment. But in any case, I am very jazzed to read your stuff again. So I for sure support you posting stuff. Otherwise, you know, how is it? How have you been? And also, I really want to know if anybody else is in the chat right now. Where are? Oh, it's just you, mate. That is totally a-okay. I am totally cool. Cryptic says, I'm trying to ease into Blue Sky, but I'm bad at new stuff. It is definitely, there's a little bit of a learning curve to it, especially if you're not really used to microposting / the general Twitter vibe. For me, I guess it was just a little bit easier because I was just so goddamn tired of Tumblr shenanigans. But also, what really helped me is just finding my community. Like, immediately after getting into Blue Sky and deciding I don't want to be on Tumblr anymore, what I did was I went to tags I found. Like, I think I actually found whip snips through somebody that I knew on Tumblr who was also on Blue Sky. So if you find your in through other people that you know, then it's a lot easier to get into, and then it's a lot easier to find your community, because from whip snips I found like Blue Pit, I found Weeknight Writers, I found all queer writers, I found all these other different niche areas, and that really helped me get solidly into Blue Sky. Cryptic says, I'm just bad at not using too many characters in posts. I hear you. You know me, I like to go off for ages and ages about stuff that I am very passionate about, and I know that you've enabled notifications on my account, and I don't know why you would do that. But in all seriousness, like, you poor thing, you have had to endure the fact that I will make entire threads of just shit that I would love to ramble about. You had an entire thread of shenanigans today about a character who doesn't even appear as a fully realized character beyond baby stage, all over my account. And I would love to talk about Princess Snowbell even more. But the point is, for sure, brevity is not an easy thing to do on Blue Sky. But then again, that's also why they let you do threads. So I wouldn't worry too much. Just figure out, you know, it's something to get used to, like figuring out how to cut off a skeet at an appropriate place so that you can go into the next skeet. But it's like, it's a skill that you just learn how to do. Cryptic says, because the only reason I made a Beast Guy in the first place was to follow you in your work. LOL. Aw, I love you. Cryptic says, I love having double digits notes and you being excited to talk about your stuff. Aw. In that case, I feel less terrible about spamming the shit out of your notifications about characters who technically do not exist. And other random fun things. I think you enabled it before I got into the bee thread too. So it was like 48 posts of bees, not including sketches, and I'm like just going to salute you there. Like, it takes some love, some platonic love, to just follow somebody and listen to them talk about their special interest, which is bees. And works in progress. So thank you for this. But yeah, Blue Sky is just something that you kind of like, you get used to the more you use it. You learn different tricks. Like, I've been using it for about a year and I love it. But for sure, I don't think I would have been able to stick with it if I didn't figure out the knacks that led me to my community, and also just and also, you know, just as a side point, if Tumblr hadn't fucked around. Anyway, Cryptic said it didn't get too bad on the bees thread because I was checking it consistently that day. Well, I'm very glad it didn't get too bad on the bees thread. Bees are very important, yes, but I also understand that it is 48 posts of bees. And I do it again. Yeah. I guess also to answer my own icebreaker, because I figure why not, and just to like I get the feeling that Cryptic already knows because Cryptic is subscribed to my post, but long story short, draft 5-ish of the Nameless song, my main work in progress, is done. That was a trash draft, and therefore I'm scrapping most of it. We're going into draft 6 next month, which is going to be an actual draft where I write sentences and paragraphs and actual prose. But that's going to happen next month after I do some planning, and right now I am just editing a side work in progress to get back into things. So Cryptic says, I love cool facts about animals, especially stuff like bees. Good, you should do it again. I would love to continue drawing bees and talking more about bees because I do have a few more bee facts. I don't know how many more I can go on because 48 bee facts is already difficult to come up with, but like I have learned things about bees since like the entire thing about Honey Nut Cheerio, where that comes from. Not like the name of the cereal, but like the meme. It is, for example, very true that drone bees basically die after they mate with the queen. Although how seems to be a matter of debate. Some people say that it's that they literally fuck themselves to death. Others say that the bees just kind of like bite off their wing, or the queen bee kind of like bites off their wings and they can't fly back. Either way, it is the drone bees that manage to survive can sometimes find their way back in the hive, and in autumn they get kicked out by the worker bees, and it is who definitely do bite off their wings at that point, and it is very sad but also kind of cute and a little bit funny to watch videos of worker bees just be like, I am dragging this whole ass man out of my home and kicking them out. I'm like, I'm right on, sister, you do that. But at the same time, I am like, oh no. Because I have also found Beastagram, and one of the top videos in Beastagram is this cute little baby drone that's popped its head out of its little cell, and it's looking around. And it is like, no thoughts, head empty. It doesn't even know it exists, and is just so cute. But at the same time, it is destined to die within days. And that is depressing. I am so sorry, but welcome to the world of bees. They are very cute, but also, oh god, what are they? What are they doing? Like, they are God's cutest little insects. They are very precious. And then they go around and do things like bite each other's wings off and sting the queens to death if they don't like the queen. It's like, or they like ball up giant hornets that are like 10 times their size and just fry them to death with their own vibrating body heat. And I'm like, you are all so cute, but holy shit, you guys are terrifying in about 7 different levels. Why would God do this? But yeah, that is the world of nature, and that is the world of bees. I have learned many things about bees since we last spoke, and that is my update for the icebreaker question that we have going on. Yeah, so that's how I've been. That and kind of depressed, except it comes and goes. I mean, folks on Blue Sky might have seen depressive episodes, but you know, it's like you keep going. Every day is a good day in some way or another. Like, you find like little things in your day that make waking up in the morning worth it and that kind of thing. Wow, we went from like bees are terrifying little creatures to existential crisis, and I do apologize, but that is basically my entire existence. It is editing, writing stuff, work, existential crisis, and bees. it is a good existence. All things considered, believe me. But yeah. Anyway, it is currently 8:51. So one thing is that these used to be, or the streams used to be at 8 o'clock, and we'd start the sprints at 8:30, but I moved it up a half an hour just to like help me settle in and not make me feel so rushed in the evenings. But the point of that, bringing that up, is our first sprint will be at 9 p.m. As I might have mentioned earlier in the chat verbally. Might have put in the description. I can't even remember, even though I wrote it like 25 minutes ago. But basically, yeah, in other words, our first sprint will be beginning in less than 10 minutes. So if you'd like to share what you're going to be working on in chat, feel free. I don't know if it's still just Cryptic and me. If it's not, come on and say hello. If you're still on Blue Sky and watching via window, I encourage you to click that link so you can join our chat. That way I can talk to you and you can talk to me. For example, Cryptic says, I get it. I got super derailed from everything through the stress of putting in a whole bathroom right next to me in Corey's bedroom. It took all of June and like half of July. And my response to that is, first off, right on, how a kind of like a renovation project takes a lot. But also, I applaud you, because that is actually a pretty fast-sounding renovation project. Like, if you were like doing the fixtures and stuff, that is not easy. So 100%, I can understand that it would take all of June and like half of another month. I applaud you. I hope it looks amazing. I hope that your fixtures are a lot more comfortable, and I hope that you're settled in and stuff like that, and that's a little bit less stressful. And if you're thinking about any other project, I wish you the best of luck with it. Oh, Cryptic says, oh, we have it professionally done. We didn't do anything except fix stuff. It does look incredible, though. That is a good way to go. I am so glad that you did it professionally. But even then, it's sort of like, oh, you have strangers coming in and out of your most intimate space. So like, I also applaud you for that. And that can't be fun at all. But at the very least, the picking stuff must have been fun. So I applaud you. I also envy you a little bit, because I wish I could be like, I wish I owned a space where I can be like, I am customizing it to make it my own, but unfortunately I'm going to be renting from now until forever, because that is how New York works. But it would be cool to have like tiles that I like, and a new shower. Man, I envy. And hello, Oakleaf. Oakleaf has just joined and says, Ayo, welcome, welcome. We have started these a little bit late, if you haven't already guessed / noticed from the Blue Sky treatment. But basically, I moved these up to accommodate myself and myself and I, which means that our first sprint is actually starting in a few. But tell us how you are, and welcome. It's been a long time. I'm so delighted you also joined, because I think you were on the fence about whether or not you would be. But I am glad to see you. Hope all is well. Tell us how have you been. Let us give us some updates about whatever project that you'd like. We still definitely have time to shoot the shit. Oakleaf says, in and out a bit, getting myself some late dinner. Totally valid. I'm going to turn down the music a hair, and I hope that you can still hear it afterwards. Tell me if you can't. Oakleaf says, Wild West whip. Trying to get back into it after my brain did a hard left turn into my Silmarillion. I've never been able to figure out how to pronounce that. I've read it only, but you understand what I mean, fixations. But that is totally valid. I wish you the best of luck with getting back into things, so I'm very excited that Wild West will be seeing some productivity fairly soon. Oakleaf says, quieter music is good for me. Excellent. Thumbs up. Also, side point, there's apparently an XP system in the chat now, and a leaderboard, and I kind of don't want to disable it because I think it's funny as hell. So, long story short, congratulations, you are now the #1 top fan that's in the chat. Cryptic, get good. I'm kidding, I love you both. I love it. I love everybody who is in the chat right now. Both of you, any lurkers, if you are a lurker, please come and say hi. You have like 3 minutes to jump in and be like, hey, I'm here. Meanwhile, I'm giving myself a rest. But yeah, I suppose the last little thing to update is what you're seeing on your screen is not my usual Scrivener or Ellipsis. Is actually LibreOffice because I am currently editing something that I've already written. This is the Infinite Sadness, aka the 90s AU. If you can hear any horns in the background, by the way, it's because my neighbors are assholes. Cryptic says, I step away for 1 second to screenshot my ultra tutorial description practice and fall behind. Yeah, sorry, get good. But yeah, basically, I know that the earliest streams had me read stuff out loud and edit it as I was going, but honestly, I'm just going to be the usual silent for 25 minutes as I read through and to edit things, because I've done this before. It's actually technically already published on AO3, but I don't know if this is something that's been floating around Blue Sky, or if you caught it on Blue Sky. I'm so sorry. The fucking horn outside is like fucking bugging me, but basically, I'm pulling it down off of AO3 because AI scraping. So it's going to be transferred onto Beehive, and I figured might as well edit it, pretty up, fix some stuff that I kind of wanted to fix for ages. So we are looking at Chapter 3. I will be doing Chapter 3 and Chapter 4 today. With that in mind, it is 8:59, so we will be beginning in just a moment. So if you have your project in front of you, whether that's the Western Whip or the Eldritch Horror description, feel free to pull it up. If it's neither of those things, or if you're someone else entirely, feel free to toss in what you're doing in chat. Otherwise, be prepared because we are starting in less than a minute. Oakleaf says, yeah, I pulled down my own original fiction on AO3, but my fic is just a sacrifice to the AI overlords, I guess. Sigh. Same, honestly. Like, I can't really give a shit about my fan fiction, but my original fiction is coming down off of that website as soon as the Infinite Sadness is fully posted to Beehive. Just fuck that entirely. Fuck that up the ass. Fuck that with the prod. God knows what. You know, fuck. In any case, it is currently 9 p.m. So, let's all shake our wrists. You know the drill. Shake out your wrists. Flex your fingers. Take a deep breath. Let out slowly. Get in that zone. and 25 minutes are on the clock. Cryptic says, I don't know how to do alt text for writing screenshots. If you're doing it on Blue Sky, it is, there should be a little alt plus button in the top left of your image. Just hit that and then just describe away. Opie says, you write, I'll get soup LOL. Max, if it's B-Sky, you can just copy the text onto the alt text. That too. That's what a lot of writers do, but in any case, 25 minutes on the clock. I will see you all on the other side. Good luck with whatever you're doing, whether that's putting up a screenshot or getting soup or actually doing writing. Ripta says, I'm going to need a smaller screenshot then because it doesn't fit the alt text option, probably for the best. Split that shit up into multiple images. Anyway, 25 minutes. Get ready. Get set. And here we go. Oop. Just a second. There we go. that is our first sprint. I'm probably going to adjust it down. I feel like 25 is a little bit too much. But how did we do? There we go. As for me, let me just scroll back up here. $17.44 plus, let's call it 111. So $17.44, 111. That's $18.55. That's not bad for editing, anyway. And that's keeping in mind that I got distracted partway through because neighbors and all. So 25 minutes really is actually a long time, longer time than I really should have done for this. Cryptic says, I got my Eldritch Horror practice posted. I will check it out after the stream, but I'm excited for that. Excuse me? How did everybody else do? Yeah, I'm just like checking out old pics of where I used to live and stuff like that. I don't know. I feel like tonight's a weird night in general. Like I'm banging back into things, but like I'm also kind of like in this vibe where I want to take a look at old stuff. Probably because I am looking at old stuff. The one thing about the Infinite Sadness is I love it very much. But it's really weird to think about how this story is over a year old. I think I finished posting it in December 2023, so it ran the very tail end of 2023. I was just getting started with this job, after spending over a year unemployed because I'd gotten laid off. So it's sort of like I was planning this when I had a lot of free time and there was a lot of going on, and I wrote this thing, posted it, and it's like now everything that was a part of that life is like completely changed. But it's like that little bit of existential goodness that I had going on just a moment ago. But, you know, it's also kind of weird because, like, I look back on all these things and in a lot of ways, like, it feels like I've grown up a lot since then. I've made progress, not always, like, going forward, but, like, I was even thinking to myself earlier today, like, I'm not exactly where I want to be, but I'm making progress in different things. Like, over the weekend, I was talking with a friend of mine about how, you know, I'm not where I want to be, but I disclosed some information that I won't go too deep into, but it was like a personal detail that involved numbers, and he's like, wow, you actually made a lot more progress than, you know, all things considered, that's a lot of progress. You should be proud of yourself. And it kind of like clicked for me then that sometimes progress doesn't look like you've reached your goal. Sometimes it's like you have to look back and see how much progress you've actually made. So, like, for example, I'm not where I was pre-pandemic and pre-X shenanigans. in terms of weight and in terms of debt. But like at the same time, I'm also 10 pounds. I've lost 10 pounds in the past year. I know it's not much, but it is still something. 10 of a good chunk of those were within the past couple months, ever since I started really focusing on going vegan and eating less. And I've also paid off, like, I'm still above 10,000 on a lot of my stuff, but at the same time, I'm also like, I've also paid 10,000 on everything. Like, I used to be closer, well, super duper in debt, but like I'm almost like to the point where next year I might be under 10,000 for everything. And it's like that when it comes to progress and when it comes to working on yourself. You're not like looking at it as I haven't made my goals, so therefore I'm shit. You're looking at it as I'm somewhere better than I was last year. And I think that's really the main thing. You're never going to be perfect, and you're probably never going to be at that spot where you can say in all confidence, you know, I made it. I finished up all my goals. Some people are lucky enough to do that for sure. Like, for example, I hope that someday I'll actually be able to publish a book. That is a solid goal that I want to do. But at the same time, I'm not going to admonish myself right now for not being there just yet. I finished up 2 drafts in a year, and there will be another one. And I am getting a little bit closer every single year. And it's the same with every other personal goal. Like, I'm not there now, but I will eventually be. And I don't know, there's some kind of comfort in that. Or at least, you know, it makes me feel a little bit less existential to think of it that way, at the very least. Oakleaf says, all progress is progress, and that's really it. Like, it's also a lot easier to step back and take a look at the progress you've made and take pride in it. Because you're always going to look forward and you're always going to be like, well, why am I not there? But if you look backwards and you see how far you've come, it's easier to be proud of yourself. Oakleaf says, I'm glad you're being gentle with yourself. It's a long process, this whole book thing. Thank you. A lot of what sorry, I had to take a little bit of a deep breath there, but basically, yeah, you're right. A lot of things are a very long process, like self-care, recovery, debt recovery of any kind, all this existential stuff. It's all a long process, and like sometimes, you know, it's easy to kick my own ass, but I kind of have to be gentle with myself. And I hope that anybody else who's going through it too is also gentle with themselves, because like, it's hard. Everything's hard. The world is hard right now. But you know, we'll get through it. We'll get through it little by little, whatnot. So. So the way that I see it is, let's make goals for the year to come. So last year I was not quite at the point where I figured out shit was going down. I think a year ago the ex stopped paying for his shit and dumped everything on me, and that's when I started to really think that, you know, maybe he was pulling away. So it's sort of like, I bring that up because, like, we're not quite at a solid anniversary of me actually starting things off. So it's going to be a little bit awkward to say, hey, let's make goals. Because you know me, I like, you know, start dates and nice round numbers. But I figure, let's make goals to just keep on pushing forward, you know, let's be a little bit further ahead. You know, maybe next year I'll lose another 10 pounds and I'll be another $10,000 down from where I am, that kind of thing. But, don't make a solid goal I am going to do all the things. Like, look at yourself and see what you want to improve and come up with like a small goal. Like, if you're losing weight like I am, maybe be like, 10 pounds next year. Or if you're not losing weight, because not everybody is, and that's valid. And if you have an ED, I am terribly sorry about that. That I'm talking about food and whatnot. You don't have to do that. Please do not. Maybe it's a writing goal. Maybe it'll be like, I probably won't be able to publish next year. However, I will be able to finish this draft next year. That kind of thing. Just think small-ish in terms of goals. Make them, and that way you can achieve them within a year, and we'll check back with each other next year and see what happens. Cryptic says, I'm certainly trying to be at my best to be gentle with myself. I hope you're gentle with yourself. That's all I gotta say. Oakley says, we're all going through a lot right now. For myself, especially right now, I try to keep the writing fun. Not always easy, but my own space to play. Hell yeah. Dude, a year is not that long to process all that. You don't amazing. You're don't amazing. I'm 3 years post shitty breakup, and it took a while to be okay with that. I'll trade you. I'm trying to gain weight. Give yours to me. I would be happy to. So basically, part of the shitty ex stuff is that he was a very picky eater. So when we actually lived in one of the 5 boroughs, I don't currently, I'm not going to tell you where I am, but basically, oh, okay, I'm so sorry. I don't mean to make fun of you. I'm just a very literal person. Sometimes I'm like, I'm not sure what that means, but I will try my best. But thank you. I am trying my hardest. You have seen me kind of like struggle sometimes. And it is a struggle. I keep on reminding myself that technically is under 6 months since I broke up with him via text. Actually, no, it's over 6 months because I sent the text in November, essentially. So we're under a year. And I am allowed to have that and to process that. Contrary to what my father says, and there are reasons why I have daddy issues, let's just say. Like, basically, it gets under my skin. Like, my dad's always been like, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, get over it kind of thing. Like, he has trouble empathizing with other people in a way, so consequently, like, he would be like, he responded to a lot of my pain and suffering with, here's a very long story of my stuff, and also, well, I got beat up a lot as a kid, so why can't you just get over it, and things like that. And meanwhile, he was saying get over it, even though I was like in an abusive relationship in my teens and stuff like that. But the point that I'm making is that he doesn't fully understand my issues or the things I go through. And that is something that I grew up with, and that is why it's kind of difficult for me to really process. And I apologize for being therapy dumping essentially, but basically it's those shenanigans, and that's why all my characters have daddy issues. But he also fully believes I should get over this. Like, just get over my ex and move on. And it's like, it's difficult. And it's kind of a recent revelation that, I've been holding myself back from being able to actually process what happened in a healthy way, because I keep on forgetting that it was under a year. And part of that is because of my dad's shitty ass philosophy when it comes to life. So basically, I'm now, essentially just now, kind of like really understanding that grief and shitty relationships and grief over shitty relationships takes a long time to process. And if you're still under a year, you're allowed to feel those feelings and express those feelings and just sort of like sit with those feelings for a while. Granted, there is a point where you do have to rebuild and move on and actively try, but it's not... When I say actively, you have to move on and actively try, I mean like not in an insensitive way, but more like you have to at least try to rebuild, you know what I mean? So like, you're not like spending it 10 years down the line and just sort of like still angsting, because I was also there with another ex of mine. It took me 5 years to get over that, and they were 5 very miserable years where I didn't fully understand that's what I was getting over. Then I met dipshit, and then things happened. But the point is, like, in order to move forward when it comes to mental health, you actually have to acknowledge the things that you're going through and let yourself process them. So, like, that's something that I keep on reminding myself, essentially. As for the weight thing, yeah, I was starting to tell a story, but basically, part of the reason why I'm in such massive debt is because for the entire 2 years that Dipshit and I lived together, we ordered out every single night. So basically, I gained a shit ton of weight. And part of that was me because, like, I was going through a layoff, so, like, I just didn't feel like doing much of anything. But also part of it was him because he was such a picky eater. It was just so much easier to just order out and let him choose whatever he wanted instead of just trying to make stuff for him or pushing him to make stuff for himself. It was a shitty ass system, but basically I'm working on repairing everything that he left me with, and a lot of it is weight. Yeah, absolutely take some of the weight off of me, and you are very much entitled to it. I have 40 more pounds before I start feeling good about myself again. So feel free. Oakleaf says, dude, 6 months is so little given all he put you through. Take your time. Yeah, I really appreciate that too. Like, I appreciate everybody on Blue Sky who comes into those threads and reminds me that, you know, it's okay to feel things and to process things. But yeah, I am going to try to be a lot kinder to myself when it comes to that, at the very least. It's going to be, you're very right, it's going to be a long time. I hope that things get better for you as well. It sounded like it was pretty rough for you, and 3 years of pain is a lot. But I hope things, you know, do get better in the 4th year or something like that. Or if not, you know, I hope you're just being kind to yourself. But yeah. Oakleaf says, just so long as you're losing weight in a healthy and gentle way, you're good. And by healthy, I mean both physically, nutritionally, and mentally. Yeah, I could do better physically. Like, I'm taking walks every day, but I need to add more to it. I should find myself a gym, at the very least, or at least some kind of physical activity to do more of. But other than that, you know, I just walk everywhere. I need to haul my bike out, add that to it. Just something. But nutritionally, absolutely. I have been a lot better than I was back whenever I lived in the 5 boroughs. I am really focusing. It helps, you know, to have gone vegetarian because it makes me a lot more aware of what I'm putting in my body. Mentally, I'm working on that. It's not just because of X stuff, it's just like in general. And I should also... Sleep is good, kids. Don't be sleep deprived like me. But anyway. I think that was about 20 minutes of talking, so it is currently 9:47. At 9:50, let's call it. Let's do another 20-minute sprint this time around, and hopefully it won't be like... Hopefully my happy fun, I can't focus for half-hour sprints at a time unless I'm playing video games. My brain will let me focus this time. And we'll do another 20-minute sprint. Cryptic says, I wish I had more control over not being sleep deprived. I know, right? I mean, for me, it is bad decision town. I could go to bed earlier, and I keep on trying to convince myself to do so. But, I don't. Usually it's 2 a.m., maybe 2:30 if I'm on a roll with something, and that's terrible. I should not be doing that. Oakleaf says, yeah, trying to keep a handle on my sleep hygiene. Sleep hygiene is in general so important, and like, I know that I'm a fucking hypocrite when I say that, but it really is. Like, it's that time whenever your body gets to repair itself, and therefore, you know, your stress levels go down, your physical health goes up, everything gets better if you sleep enough. But I am also a filthy ass hypocrite and will never take my own advice. So therefore, I get like 4 or 5 hours a day and then wonder why the fuck I'm tanked in the morning. Oh, Oku says, here's the full message. Yeah, trying to keep a handle on my sleep hygiene is really hard, but really necessary. Yes, it is. Cryptic says, it doesn't matter how early I go to bed. If my brain decides to anxiety thoughts, all I can do is distract until I'm barely awake and then hope. That was meant to be one message. Oakleaf says that was meant to be one message. Apparently I cannot type tonight. Typing is hard, okay? And so is anxiety thoughts. I am so sorry about that, Cryptic. There's really no solution that I have. It is a mental health thing. Best I can suggest is, like, I guess meditation, but even then that's like a shitty answer, a shitty white girl answer, so I won't even offer that as a potential solution. Oakleaf says, yeah, I have anxiety too and ADHD and am a night owl by nature, so I spent a lot of my life very sleep deprived. I feel you, Max. Yep, we all feel that. That is a very real thought. If anybody finds a solution, please type that in chat, because I would also like to know. But anyway, it is 9:50, so I think we should do the second sprint so that the stream doesn't go off into midnight territory, so that we can actually all get sleep. How's that? Anyway, 20 minutes are on the clock. I will see you on the other sides, so get ready, get set, and let's go. All right, that takes care of sprint number 2. How did we do? In my case, I am going to call that 1061, which isn't too bad. Possibly a little bit more. According to chat, there's a lot of cat feeding and cat care going on, and I am all for that. I'm not sure if it... Let's see. Cryptic says, I survived the feeding the cats. Excellent. It is good to hear that the cat has not bitten off your hand. Oakleaf says, I have eaten soup and will be reading Wild West. Work in progress. Not sure if Oakleaf's back, but yes. Also, this music is giving me Odessa vibes, and I dig it. I also appreciate that. I have to admit that it is a little bit repetitive for me, but as we've noticed from, I have not actually worked on trying to find us better music. Not gonna even lie, it has not been on my priority, but if we're going to return to regular streaming, which I do believe we will, I should probably fix that. But in any case, if you recall from the last time we did streams, the reason why we have a generic-ass lo-fi hip-hop is because a lot of the lo-fi hip-hop on YouTube is actually copyrighted. So, funny story about how one of my most viewed streams is most viewed because the thumbnail is what happens whenever you play copyright music on a stream, and that is you get copyright struck and your stream ends and you have an error message displayed. So we're not going to do that anymore. Right now we are listening to the dulcet tones of Neil.Fun's Ambient Chaos. And funnily enough, you can see a teeny tiny bit here in the little Pomodoro timer window. I mean, actually, let me see if I can pop out. I don't know if this would be a good idea. Oh, you cannot see all of it. Oh well. But it is Neil.Fun. And you can see all the fun. There's lo-fi beats up there, but you have like coffee shop, rain, waves, campfire, wind, train station, highway. It goes on and on and on. If you've never been to Ambient Chaos, it gets real hilarious real fast. Like, you can kind of see crime scene, there's Beehive, which you're welcome for not playing that, and also my favorite, which is Nuclear Siren. But I've decided to be merciful and not display that, but I will have to figure out actually decent royalty-free music that does not sound like absolute shit, because I could play Kevin MacLeod at you like for the entire 3 hours, and Kevin MacLeod's actually not half bad, but there's a limit to how much you can do that. Actually, you know what, let me just see something. Let me pop that out. Let me actually not do this. Kevin MacLeod. I don't know if this will actually also copyright strike me. It is technically Ambient Chaos. Or not Ambient Chaos, but royalty free. But nonetheless, is my favorite track. Oh my god, yes. Crunk Night is available. You know what? Let's do this. Let me just turn down lo-fi beats for this time being. And Crunk Night. This is probably one of my absolute favorites. Listen now. Oh, that is loud as shit. Hold on. I think it's... Hold on, desktop audio maybe we'll do it. Also, hello, Sachi. Welcome to the stream. You are just in time for shooting the shit between the last two word sprints of the night, but let's see. Okay, there we go. Let me turn this up. I fucking love Kevin MacLeod. So fun story. For one of my jobs, I used to do the book trailers. I used to do book trailers for children's books. I was an editor for this company. The reason why I was doing it is because the company was tiny as fuck, so they were trying to figure out ways to do things as cheaply as possible, in a word. So having the glorified, fully paid, full-time intern doing it. I was not an intern, I was an actual editor, but basically little person on the totem pole. Seemed like a good idea at the time. So there would be days whenever I'd sit there and I'd spend like hours just going through in contact, listening to all of the music until I find the right vibes for what I was doing, and it was amazing. So I will try to remember some, and I will try to make playlists out of In Contact if that's what we want. Also, welcome back, Oakleaf. Your comment concerning music spurred me to go and look at Incomtech, aka Kevin MacLeod's website for the first time in years. Because basically what we were listening to was a loop of ambient chaos, which is a Neil.fun site that basically allows you to mix your own fun tunes for quote-unquote tunes for any kind of productivity. So it'd be like you can mix lo-fi beats, which was what we were listening to, with cafe sounds or nuclear sirens, that kind of thing. But I was saying to the chat basically that the reason why we were listening to that on repeat, even though like it was starting to get like, I appreciate it, but to me it's sort of like it's repetitious, but I don't really have too many options because the last time we tried to play lo-fi hip-hop, the channel got a slap on the wrist from YouTube because we accidentally played copyrighted music, which was my bad. But then Sachi had brought up royalty-free music, and I was like, Kevin MacLeod. If you don't recognize Kevin MacLeod, you have heard Kevin MacLeod, especially if you listen to a lot of or if you play a lot of YouTube videos. Because Kevin MacLeod is like everybody's go-to for royalty-free music. So you know that weird tone that you could sometimes hear in like horror content YouTube videos, like they all have the same intro music. It's from Kevin MacLeod, that's why. Cryptic's like, if you don't recognize Kevin MacLeod, yes you do. Yes, correct. What we're listening to right now is probably my favorite, just because it is fucking hilarious and I love it so much. It's called Crunk Night, but I will find other music to play, and I guess every so often I'll change it whenever we're doing, because there are he did hundreds upon hundreds. It is ridiculous how much stuff this one man made. It's kind of amazing. Like, there's another one right there. That one's called Journey to Ascend. We don't have to do that one, but you know, it's something. There's Adventures in Adventures Land. Nice. This is very this sounds like Final Fantasy right here. Yeah, he's done stuff for everything. I will try to find more to do, but it's fun. Oakley says, I love Kevin MacLeod. We all love Kevin MacLeod. That man did so much for the indie YouTube creator space. He is doing the Lord's work. Cryptic says, it is currently slightly hard to hear you over it for me. I'm so sorry. Let me turn that down a little bit. I did have to adjust it. I wasn't sure if I was blowing it out. Let me know if it's now hard to hear the music, but basically there you go. I wish you didn't queue up music, because that would be awesome. Actually, let me just see. No, you can't. Oh well. I'll just have to keep an eye on the player and switch over to some random music whenever I notice that it's getting close to the end. Oakley says, Cryptic trying to chat at the RuneScape Brave vibes. Cryptic says it's a good volume for me now. Excellent, excellent. So yeah, I think that this is what we're just gonna do. Like, I'm going to go on, ooh, you can see all, oh, that did not work out all that well. I'm so sorry for accidentally cutting you off. The Grand Chase, here we go. Oh, that's short. There's River Flute, a 20-minute, there we go. Maybe? Ebbs and Flows, 1 hour one. How's this one? What the fuck? No, not that one. Elf Meditation. Oh my god, these are like relaxing, ambient sounds, that's why. I don't want to do like ambient sounds. It'll just make me want to fall asleep, to be honest with you. So we're gonna find one. And that'll lead us into our next sprint. How's that? In all honesty, it's currently 10:23, so let's call it 10:30. We'll do the next sprint. Magic Escape Room. Is Adrian von Ziegler royalty free? Let me see. I don't believe so. Let me just see. I see his Bandcamp. And usually if there's like a Bandcamp, the answer is no. Complete discography. Unlimited streaming via the free Bandcamp app. There is copyright to this, but it doesn't say like if the usage rights are royalty free or not. So I'm going to err on the side of caution and say no. At least not here. Yeah, no, I looked at his YouTube channel, and he does reserve all the copyright. So that usually means, no. That usually means that you can only play his music, essentially, if you get permission from him. So I'm not gonna, unfortunately, as much as I would probably listen to this in private when we're not streaming. When we're actually streaming, I won't take a risk, but I will check them out for sure. And it's a shame too, but you know, it is what it is. Musicians got to eat and whatnot. So standard. Sorry, I'm just sort of like listening at, or looking at Kevin MacLeod stuff because yeah, we're getting ready for our next one. Oakleaf says, darn, oh well. Yeah, I know, right? But it is what it is. Deep relaxation screensaver. Midnight Tale. Here we go. Let's see. That's not bad. That's not bad. This is like D&D Tavern. I'm into this. Oh wait, it's 241? What? Man. Hold on. Yeah, this is it. This is what we're doing for the remaining. You know what? Action, aggressive. No, that doesn't work. Tempo. Nope. Length. Ooh, okay, here we go. What's Egmont Overture? No. Drone in D? Yeah, we're not doing that either. New direction? Oh god, no. Almost enough? Wish background. Found our holiday music, guys. Oh my god, no. No. Fuck it, we're going straight down the list. Absolutely not. Cryptic says, one of these days I'll figure out exactly how the chat XP works. That is a good question. Oakleaf says, well, haven't heard that in a while. Largo from the New World Symphony is always nice. I will check that out after the stream as well. Let's not do one that will make us fall asleep. There we go. Fleeing from Christmas. I mean, we could do Christmas after. We could do Christmas into our next sprint if you want to. It is a 20-minute song for some reason. You know what? Fuck it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Where was it? Wish background. Yeah, it was 20 minutes. Why was it 20 minutes? Cryptic says places near me already have Halloween stuff. What? Oakley says no. Christmas in August, bitch. No to the Christmas, not Halloween. Okay. Who needs 20 minutes of Christmas? We all need 20 minutes of Christmas, says the Jew. You know what? Since we mentioned... Yeah, there's a whole table of vampire blood scented stuff at Bath and Body Works in the mall. And that was before my birthday this year. You know what? I'm okay with this because you know what? I am ready for pumpkin spice season. I am fucking ready for it because this heat is no thank you. So bring on the fucking pumpkin spice already. Just put me in deep October and leave me there. Cryptic says, you know what? You're the only person allowed to subject me to Christmas music for that joke alone. LOL. You're welcome. I get 20 minutes of Christmas on December 25th decorating my ficus tree with my dad's family heirloom ornaments once a year, and that's quite enough for this Jew. That is fair. Anyway, because people have mentioned Halloween, which we should all be okay with, by the way, because it is fuck swamp ass summer, and we all fucking want autumn right now. And you know what? October is close enough for capitalism to be putting out the Halloween shit. Long story short, how about let's just listen to everything that's labeled horror in the Kevin MacLeod collection. This will not end terribly. Cryptid says it's August. It's close enough. Oakleaf says I'm ready for summer to get in the bin. I am very much ready. I'm always ready for summer to get in the bin. Like when I was a child, it wasn't as bad because you know the sun wasn't trying to murder us as much. Says the person who grew up in the 90s whenever a hole in the ozone layer was an actual concern that everybody would not shut up about. But like I am pretty sure it wasn't this hot in the 90s. And also it was bright and colorful, and there are many reasons why we're all nostalgic for running around in the grass and shenanigans. Where was I going with this? Basically I'm here for autumn, for sure. Summer can get back in the bin. So I have felt summer can get back in the bin for the past several years now. Cryptic says yes. So yeah, I think we're all good with the horror. I'm just going to keep on going down the line. These are only minute-long tracks, unfortunately, because for some reason Kevin MacLeod did not design a Halloween track that's over 10 minutes long. The longest one is a long note 4, which is 0 BPM at 10 minutes exactly, and I'm a little bit terrified of that, but we will get to it eventually. Oakleaf says, definitely not this hot regularly. We're breaking temperature records every year. Yeah, it's something, isn't it? Cryptic says, I just want it to stop feeling like 100 something with air quality warnings, right? It would also be nice if Canada would stop setting itself on fire, which is relevant because we keep on getting clouds of smoke from wildfires down here, which does not help things. Oakleaf says, same Cryptic. I'm stuck between tropical storms and wildfire smoke. I'm so tired. Yeah, same. Anyway. It is currently 10:35, so how about we switch it up and head into our last sprint of the night. Excuse me. So, Lithuania, Cryptic says, God, it was smoggy-ish here the other day because of Canada's wildfires. Damn you, Canada. Could you at least have, like, your smoke be maple scented? I am so sorry, that is terrible. That was a terrible thing to say, but then again, directly above me is Toronto, so I feel like that's fine. Anyway. With that in mind, Canada, I love you. I hope that you all are fine, or that you will be fine as soon as autumn makes its way through. But in any case, see, that's familiar. Y'all are thinking about those horror YouTubers now, aren't you? Anyway, speaking of, is 10:36. 20 minutes are on the clock. This is going to be the last sprint of the night, and we'll talk about schedules and whatnot afterwards and wrap things up. But this is the third sprint of the night. There will be 20 minutes on the clock, 20 minutes for you to do whatever. I wish you the best of luck, and I will see you on the other side. And here we go. Okay. And that is the final stream of the night. How did we do? Okay. There we go. 1604 for me, so that's not bad. You have gotten about halfway through chapter 4, so that is a good place for me to stop. How about everybody else? Cryptic said ages ago, the fact that we landed on horror music when I've been thinking of streaming horror games as a hobby, you should, just like for funsies. It will be fun, and you know, if you're doing it for a hobby, I do like doing these streams. I don't plan on making any money off of them. I don't even really use them to advertise. They're just a thing that I do to help me continue on with my writing, and it's fun. I do like talking to you, so 100%, I fully encourage people to stream if they can. Oakleaf says, almost caught up on my reading. Excellent, excellent. Cryptic says, I've kind of tapped out on anything other than just vibing at this point. That is also totally fair. It is kind of late at night. My plan is basically end the stream and continue on with the Final Fantasy patch stuff. Maybe I might make it over to the FC, maybe I might not. We'll see. It's all going to be a fun surprise. But in any case, this is a good point to wrap it up for the night. So in terms of schedule, I have made it a goal to stream every Tuesday. We'll see how long I keep that up, especially with the remainder of the month. Tuesdays are pretty clear days for me. I have also let my FC know that I am not available on Tuesdays anyway. But you know, stuff happens. And also, I don't foresee that I'll have a lot of content to do. I am already halfway through chapter 4 on the Infinite Sadness. Dear God. And there are only 10 chapters in an epilogue in total for this story. So we'll see if that lasts me through the rest of the month. If not, you will get to watch me do some planning, I guess, because I also have to start re-outlining at some point. But long story short, it will be every Tuesday for certain. Oakleaf says, or actually, let me go back up. Cryptic says, I'm trying to figure out how to make my persona a VTuber for the fun of it. That would be interesting. If you have a talent for rigging, there's that. But I wish you the best of luck. I know absolutely nothing about VTuber personae and whatnot and how to do that. So I'm saluting you. Oakleaf says, my cat is begging me to go downstairs with him for reasons known only to himself. He has food. He could be on my bed. Nope, downstairs only. I think you should follow him on this quest. He clearly has a side quest for you. So I will make the rest of this very short. Basically, Tuesday is guaranteed for the rest of the month and into September and whatnot. Until, you know, birthday happens, I guess. And are there going to be any other days? The answer is no. So basically my weeks are typically pretty full as it is. There are usually work events in the evenings, but those tend to happen Wednesdays, Thursdays through the end of the week. I am usually out and about in the city on weekends, and you know I don't like to stream anytime that I'm not or anytime I go out to the city. Mondays and Wednesdays I'm with the FC. Thursdays is a D&D night. I have joined a different D&D group for reasons involving drama that I will probably share at some point. So long story short, Tuesdays are basically my only free days. But we will be consistent about it, and we will make the best of it. So I do hope that you will join me every Tuesday. It will be for certain every Tuesday, 8:30 to whenever. And we will have fun, and we will write and do all kinds of other things. But in the meantime, thank you so much for coming in. It's the first one in a while. I will figure out the music situation eventually. But in the meantime, this was a really cool way to ease myself back into it. And, I hope that next week it will be just as fun. And I hope that folks will be dropping in on the regular. And we shall see and see what happens. And maybe I'll even get to ramble about the Beeple at some point. I would love to just make you all listen to me ramble about the Beeple and Princess Snowdrop and things that are only tangentially related to my work in progress. I could be rambling about dragons, but it's bees. It's bees all the way down, kids. But in all seriousness, long story short, it is 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So I hope you all get plenty of rest. I hope you all have excellent weeks, and I will see you again right here on this YouTube channel next Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. to whenever. Oakleaf says yes. Show us the Beeple. There might even be Beeple art. We will see. We shall see. But in any case, I'm tapped out for the night. I'm ready to go smack things with paintbrushes. So, good night, everybody. And thanks again. Bye. See you next week.